The future of the hybrid cloud. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that IBM are doing, which they believe, and some other people believe, may well position them as the number one provider of the cloud going forward in terms of hybrid services. So hybrid services of the cloud is extremely important because, as the CEO of IBM says, Ginni, the 20% of movement to the cloud has been the low-hanging fruit, the easy parts. But in the future, you're going to want to have the 80% of the transfer to the cloud that is more difficult. And what does that involve, essentially? According to Ginni, it involves a combination of on-site premises, private clouds, and public clouds. And all, obviously, the interactability between those and also the security features as well. So there's a couple of initiatives that IBM is working on to make that a reality and a leader in those areas. So they're very client-focused, and they merge both hardware, services, and cloud or software. So this is not an IBM commercial. There's others that are going to be working in hybrid, but I'm using IBM as kind of like a prototypical example of some of these principles. So the first major part is their acquisition of Red Hat. So they're able to take for $34 billion, they're able to take the open source capabilities and apply them to cloud in a hybrid fashion. I mean, there's so much that could be said about that, but the implications are huge. The second major aspect is the cognitive computing capabilities of Watson that IBM touts, and the ability to become domain-specific, deep for clients, and with AI capability, which they call cognitive. And because cognitive is broader, it's actually the relationship between humans and machines, not just artificial intelligence. But now IBM is announcing the Watson Anywhere initiative, which is basically and all of this is tied again into security as well, what they call, I forget the name of it, but it's like a hyper-secure or whatever. So Watson Anywhere is basically the hybrid model where you could go between different clouds with the cognitive abilities. And again, Red Hat allows that open source capability, and IBM is a leader in open source and in cognitive. So the ability for hybrid cloud computing and all the capabilities of that is extraordinarily promising. And it's an end-to-end solution. I know Ginni was talking about 33 levels of service, 23 service to get from to owning both the beginning and the end and the whole process through. So you can read up on that, but there's a lot there.